Hey everybody, welcome back to another business analysis video to our series Tips from the Expert. And today we have another amazing experienced business analyst here to share with us her business analysis knowledge. We'll be looking at the impact of AI on business analysis. So today we have our special guest, Kini Logoswaran. Welcome, Kini. Thank you for joining us today on the series. How are
Thank
you?
you so much, Pippa, for having me. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm good, thank you. I know that you've been a business analyst for a while, and we've talked a little bit about how you got into business analysis. But for the purpose of today's series, are you able to please tell us a bit about yourself and how you become a business analyst?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm Kini, and I graduated from UNSW with a Bachelor of Business Information Systems. Upon graduating, I embarked on a very dynamic career path. I was accepted into a technology graduate program for a global IT services consulting organization, where I had the opportunity to delve into various IT disciplines such as front end, back end, web development, UX design, testing, and agile methodologies. Through an intensive training course, I honed my skills and transitioned into the role of a technical business analyst, where I was working with a prominent financial services client. This marked the beginning of my journey as a business analyst. So, this is a role that I was deeply passionate about and I really wanted to get into since I began my degree. Over time, I've navigated my journey as a business analyst and worked across diverse organizations like banking, financial services, and fintech industries, leveraging my expertise to drive meaningful results and change for businesses.
Great. Sounds amazing. So you've done agile, you've done UX design, you're very technical as well. I tend to shy away from technical business analysis, so it's quite interesting to meet a technical business analyst. So how has your journey been? Has it been a bit of a difficult transition from your graduate program onto then becoming a business analyst and moving towards the technical area?
Yeah, so it has been a very smooth transition because I got the support from the organization, especially in terms of doing, technical training courses that are aligned to the BA profession. So that really made the transition a lot more seamless. I was exposed to, working in a different environment when I was working in a financial services organization. And over time, I picked up key skills like soft skills, like time management, effective communication, negotiation. Like the team were just very supportive and just made my journey a lot easier.
Yeah, that's really good. It's really good to find yourself in an environment where you have all the support that you need. It really, really is valuable, and it contributes to success. What are your thoughts around the impact of AI on business analysis? Can you give us some sort of thoughts around that?
Yeah, definitely. So I believe that AI is disrupting the BA profession, and we should really start preparing ourselves for the future. At a more granular level, AI is not only automating tasks, but it's also enhancing those tasks where it can perform more effectively than humans. I think it's great because the nature of IT projects is getting more complex with the emergence of new technologies, particularly AI driven technologies. And this type of AI support will help us have more time to focus on problem solving and strategic decision making, which is not something that AI can do quite the way humans can.
That's really interesting. I think, with AI now, there is also a lot of fear on a lot of jobs, not just business analysts. So, where I think the impact of AI can sort of, where business analysts can sort of leverage on it is, as much as we're business analysts who sort of bridge the gap between the business and IT. Business analysts can also bridge the gap between AI and the business, or between AI and technology, right? So it wouldn't always be that immediate move from AI to the business, because I know a lot of BAs are sort of afraid that AI is going to take over our jobs.
Yeah, very
Right?
change resistant. Yeah, but I
Exactly.
guess she should always embrace change. So I think that's important.
Exactly. Yes, embracing change, that is key. Moving on to the AI, when we talk about AI, there are so many AI tools. There's ChatGPT, which is pretty much one of the main ones. Can you give us some tips on how BAs can leverage AI tools for work? Any examples as well of AI tools that you can share with us?
So some examples of tools that BAs can leverage for work include generational AI tools like ChatGPT, as you mentioned, to produce functional specification documents and user stories. Microsoft Teams Premium also has a really cool intelligence recap feature that effectively summarizes and collates meeting notes and action items for future reference. I think this is valuable, especially if you have to hold stakeholder gathering workshops and requirements elicitation workshops, as it helps you summarize, the list of things that you were talking about in meetings.
That's really good. Coming back to, you talked about user stories. Do you think it's okay for us to use AI for our work, like writing user stories? What do you think about that? Because I know I have tried as well using ChatGPT to ensure that my user stories are following the standard, or epics are following the standard, or even acceptance criteria. But what do you think about us as BAs using that tool to write our documentation?
Yeah, definitely. So I feel leveraging these tools not only enhances our productivity, but enables us to prepare documentations with a more faster turnaround. For instance, you can input an initial requirement in ChatGPT and it automatically generates a response. The onus falls on the BAs to critically evaluate, interpret, and verify the requirement before presenting it back to the business to ensure it aligns with customer requirements. I think this is particularly useful, but we should use it strategically and determine the validity of business requirements and its alignment with organizational objectives. So this is where the BA comes in and really determines whether it's valid, whether the response generated from ChatGPT is valid, and it aligns with documentation standards.
That makes sense. So whenever we just have to be cautious of using these tools, and make sure that it's actually representing what we want it to give us. Coming back again to the AI, do you think? I know I talked about the threat of AI already to BA roles, because I know I've received so much messages from people as well. Like, where do you think business analysis will be in the next 10 to 20 years? Will the role still be valid? So can you share with us? Is there a threat to AI to the BA role, especially as business analysis being an advisory role? And do you think that we will be replaced in the future, maybe in the next 20 to 50 years? Will business analyst job title still be there?
Yeah, definitely. So I don't believe that AI will entirely replace our roles in the future. Being a business analyst is very well valued, and it will require us to become more adept and skilled at analyzing real world complexities and elevate our decision making skills. I think BAs will be required to perform more of an advisory role in projects, and the paradigm will shift from integrating AI solutions into our existing processes and workflows. Our new role will require us to understand how AI works, how it learns, and what it needs to be integrated into our systems.
It's quite interesting. So it sort of brings a new level to the role. As much as we do all these BA related courses or technical related courses, we might then start to be looking at leveraging AI to then add value to the business analysis role in itself. Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah. I know we talked about user stories, writing user stories with ChatGPT and all that. Apart from user stories or general BA documentation, how else do you think BAs can leverage AI?
So I guess AI can be leveraged for informed decision making, like employing it to generate SQL queries for addressing particular business scenarios and challenges. This AI task, which is known as text to SQL, involves natural language processing to translate text into SQL queries. Utilizing AI can enhance code efficiency and accuracy, which results in more quicker database retrieval. Additionally, Postman has introduced an AI feature named the Postbot, which assists in debugging API calls and refining test case design, which I think is a very cool feature.
That's very interesting. Can you tell us a little bit about Postman? Because when I teach business analysis, or when I talk about business analysis on YouTube, it's generally pure BA. I never go into any technical tools. But I think it will be valuable for viewers who are looking at exploring technical business analysis, for instance. And you mentioned Postman. I think is Postman used? Is it relating to
Yeah,
APIs?
it's about APIs,
APIs?
designing APIs. You can
Yeah.
test APIs, you can verify APIs, and it returns response codes based on the APIs that you develop. So you can test it, have a really cool test feature where you can debug the API code, and yeah, you can generate different API calls. So like different methods in APIs, like to get, put, post, patch, and delete. So these are the 5 methods that are leveraged, and this is based on RESTful APIs. I would recommend a really cool course that Postman is offering, which is the Postman Student Expert Certification. So it's a series of challenges that you can complete, and you can earn a badge, which you can, just show off on LinkedIn to say that, you have attained a new skill.
That's interesting. So what's the course called? Postman Student Expert Certification. And for business analysts looking at exploring the technical side of it, do you think that's a good tool for business analysts to learn?
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. Because I actually undertook that certification. It's a free certification. It only took me about 3 to 4 hours, but I learned so much because I had to use that practical application of designing an API and writing the code for an API, which really helped me to understand how it works more,
Yes.
like more from a developer perspective.
Yes.
So I have that more like technical knowledge. So I would highly recommend it for anyone who
Mm.
is actually working on projects that have, a high API exposure.
Yes, yes. So that's for anyone who will be working on projects that have high API exposure, like she mentioned. Because when I talk about business analysis, I always tell my mentees, don't worry about learning all these other tools. Just focus on business analysis, our key tools, the soft skills. And once you find your role, you will start to explore these other tools, whether it's a technical side or various other systems, right? So I'm just being a bit careful of that and letting the viewers know you don't have to start off learning these tools. It all depends on the project. It all depends on the organization. But as Kini mentioned, Postman is a great tool to learn if you're in the API space. Okay. So, moving on to our next question. What advice or tips from your experience can you share with our viewers, especially those who are new in the field? For example, because you mentioned you did a graduate program, tell us a little bit about what you studied at uni, whether it helped you, how it helped you to get your graduate program, if you can share some of that.
Definitely. So, piece of advice that I would like to share is to just really embrace continuous learning. That's important to succeeding in this profession. And I strongly recommend taking the initiative to stay up to date with emerging technologies and industry trends. There are many free courses out there that you can do to enhance your knowledge. As I mentioned, the Postman Student Expert Certification, which will make you a valuable asset to any organization. I was grateful to be a part of a graduate program that helped me land a business analyst role quite quickly, due to that rigorous and intensive training course that I had to do prior to being placed in a real life project. So that gave me that exposure.
That is a great tip. Thank you so much. Continuous learning is very important in our role as BAs. So continue explore whether it's free courses, whether it's mentorship, right, or whether it's paid courses. Knowledge is never wasted. Knowledge is
That's
never
right.
wasted.
We learn every
Yeah,
day.
we learn every day. Yeah, definitely. I've learned something today as well. Although I've heard about Postman, I've just, like I mentioned to you, I just always stay clear of technical. But it's quite interesting to know that these tools exist and these are areas that we can also explore and learn to add value to our roles. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us, with the viewers, with regards to business analysis? Any tips at all?
Yeah, definitely. So network, build a strong network of professionals, whether it's on LinkedIn or just attending meetups. I know there are a lot of meetups hosted by different organizations like BA communities, IIBA. Just leverage those networks and really expand your professional skills. I think that's very important apart from the actual work. That way you can really meet like-minded people and really understand, how to level up in this role as a BA. So that's my advice. Yeah.
Yes.
Communication is key as
Yes.
business analyst.
Thank you so much. That is so, so helpful. It's been so great having you on here on today's session. But before we close, I wanted to ask, how can the viewers get in touch with you if maybe you do mentorship or maybe they have any questions around being a technical business analyst, for instance?
Please reach out to me via LinkedIn for any professional mentorship, or send through any queries you have to my personal email address, which is kshini10@gmail.com.
Yes, so I'll link Keishini's details in the description box if you'd like to get in touch. She also does mentorship, so please get in touch via the link in the description box. Thank you, Keishini. It's been such a pleasure having you on today's session.
It's amazing. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. As always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this content. You never know who it might help. Till I see you in the next one. Peace.